Welcome to day 2 of our January challenge 2018 and our play along video for today. I'm going to start then today at bar 9 with today's learning, and I'm going to play it at a kind of full speed initially for anyone that wants to join in with that, or at least have a listen to, okay, this is what I'm aiming for. Then I'll do it again a bit slower and then again a bit slower again. Having done that, anyone that then wants to turn off, no problem. And then I will go into the more depth and detail for people that would like to take it a bit steadier than the original teaching video. So here we go, a relatively full speed play along. Starting in bar 9, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Not feel that fast in some ways, but I know what's coming up and I know how much time we've got to do the moves that are coming up, so I think that is perfectly fast enough. And we do want to enjoy the Ode to Joy tune that's coming through there. Okay, a little bit slower for anyone that wants it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Super. And if you can convey your enjoyment of the tune, it won't feel slow. It'll be grand. One more time then, slower still. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So stick around now if you would like for me to go through this in a nice steady pace. Today's learning starting at bar 9. So let's start with our left hand. If possible, it would be great to do these octaves as what we call open octaves. Okay, it is also possible to not think about that at all and say, okay, one step too far, Mary. I just want to do it 1 and 4 in a nice normal hand shape, and I'll just let the notes ring out. And they just walk down. So they start on middle C, move down 1 to B, down 1 to A, down 1 to G. And if that is what it takes for you to be able to enjoy and play the piece, then great, do that, no problem at all. The next stage on that really helps to keep it cleaner, I suppose, is if you can try the open octaves. And it's great to try it, even if when you perform this piece to yourself or to others, you stick with our closed hand, as it were, our more typical hand shape, just for confidence. But it's great to try the technique of doing these open hand ones. So we're still going to play the octave with 1 and 4. Okay, I've got my 4th finger on the C there, my thumb there. We're still going to play that. But our hand is now in an open palm shape. You can see how my fingers are pointing upwards. And I'm allowing my hand to rest. All of that is there touching the strings. It's all leaning on. And I play that one, and I still, when I do that, I still do close my hand up. I'm still aiming for this wall for them to bounce off. And then as I open up, I'm now thinking my next note. I'm not worrying about damping the C I've just played. I'm focusing on landing on my next note, which is the B, but I'm allowing my hand, my entire hand, to hit onto the strings again. And great bonus, that does the damping. So don't get caught up in the idea of, okay, this is about damping, and so I must damp that C and then move on to the B. Just focus on the next notes you're going to play and allow your hand to hit onto the strings. And in doing that, you will do the damp naturally. So this is just a different way of playing the octaves, and the bonus effect is that it damps. It can be quite rhythmical too, and in this piece it fits to have it a bit rhythmical, so it's okay to hear your hand hit in if you want to. It's okay to try not to, but that's almost too much effort. Allow it to make a noise if it does, because in this piece it totally fits. Okay, remember this is rock to joy. So our left hand just plays the C walking down to the G, close, open. Okay, so when I said close there, I mean I'm closing my hand up having played the notes, and then I'm opening it back up for the next ones. Okay, that gives us bar 9 and 10, bars 9 and 10. Bars 11 and 12 do exactly the same thing in the same place, but we have an added note at the end. So it still does C to the B, does the A to the G, then it jumps down to the red, and for me it's my lowest red right at the very bottom of my harp, and the octave above. So it's still just octaves. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I'd like you to join in with this, I'm going to play bars, in fact I'll play bar 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll play all 4 bars in a row, and I'm just going to go round and round as if it's a loop, and I want you to join in, and don't worry too much about the counting, get the feel of it. Okay, mathematically yes, we can count it out, and maybe I will after we've done this, but let's try and get it into our bones first. Let's try and feel it. So we're going from the left hand at the beginning of today's learning, which is bar 9, if possible with our open octave hand. That's my post coming through the door. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back to the C and down to C. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That last C feels like it comes early. It'll make more sense when we put the tune with it. So maybe let's just do bars 9 and 10. Let's forget 11 and 12 for the minute. Let's just go round bars 9 and 10 a couple of times. Just the C, B, A, G, back to C, B, join in with A, G, let's play C, B, and A, G, one more time, C, B, A, G, let's go again. Good, really feel it. Brilliant. It's good to get into the feel of that. The technical element of what we're doing there is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You may have noticed as well that on the second one, the one that comes before our third beat, on the and note, there's a little accent. That little V on its side is an accent. So it's dum, bum, if you can convey that, that's a bonus. Don't worry too much about it today. All right, let's have a look at our right hand. Our right hand is playing the tune. It's the Ode to Joy tune. It's the same sort of thing we've just been doing yesterday in our intro, but it's carrying on properly into the tune. So we have our E, E, F, G with the slide from the G. Slide. So our thumb is now sitting on the black, and then we just want to allow our fingers to fall open onto E, D, C. It's just the next 3 notes, so we've got 4 in a row. And we play 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, can we just try that? So we're going to play E, E, F, G, F, E, D, C. Let's try that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Brilliant. Let's try that again. So we have the thumb slide on the G, a little bit of time there to then place the rest of our fingers down to the C. So we're starting on E, F, G, just above middle C, with that finger 3 leading off. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well done, brilliant. Okay. For those that feel able to, have a go at adding your left hand. Okay, you can do this. Left hand on the open C. It plays the C with our beginning note. And then as we get up to that G, da, 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 bam, that's when our next note lands there. And then we walk down to the C, da, da, da. And as we land on that C, it's when our next note comes there. We're just going as far as that. Okay, we'll take this really, really slowly just to give you the time to do it. Okay, really slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well done. Should we try that again? If it feels too much to do, just go back to doing the right hand for now. Or maybe the first thing to try, rather than doing the open octaves, is to allow that just to be closed hand octaves. You could try that as well. But let's give that another go. That same steady speed, maybe even a tiny bit slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well done. It's good to try that even this early on. Because the piece is the combination of the 2 hands. That's the full piece of music. So we don't want to get too caught up with just getting on with the melody. We want to pull it together as soon as we can. That next bit then in the right hand, so you've landed down on middle C with finger 4. We then swap and we do 3, 2, 1 in a row. It goes another thumb slide here, so push it onto the D. But this time we're not going to add any other fingers. We play the D and then bring out finger 2 and use the D again, but with finger 2. Okay, so let's just try that bar. So we've walked down, we're starting the bar with a finger 4 on the red middle C. And then we're going to swap. So we play that 4, let's do that. Then put 3, 2, 1 in a row from that C, and we're going to play that going up now. C, D, and now we're going to push. So we're doing a thumb slide, so our thumb should end on the D. Just try that again if you missed it. 3, 2, slide. Nothing else placed. This D needs to play beautifully into the hand. And then a 2 on its own on the same note on the D. Okay, let's try that in some sort of time. Nice steady speed. Starting with a finger 4 on that middle C. Swapping to 3, 2, 1 from the C. The 1 will be a slide onto the D, and then swapping to a finger 2 on the D. You can do it. It sounds like a lot when I talk you through it, but you can do this, okay? Finger 4 on the C, This is going to be the beginning of the bar. I'll count us in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and C, C, D, E, D, D. And again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Good. And notice at the beginning there when I'm doing that finger 4, the rest of the hand is just closed up because actually we'll have just played going down to it. So the finger 4, when we're just starting on there, I'm keeping the rest of the hand nicely closed up. Let's put it into that context though. It's probably easier to play into it. So let's go from the beginning of today, bar 9, starting with our double E, and it's a finger 3 on there heading up to the G. And we'll take that all the way into this new bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well done. Should we try that again? So it's the E up to the G, we've got the slide, we walk down to middle C, we're heading back up from middle C, we've got another slide, but just to a note on its own, and we finish with those Ds. And again, just that right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Well done. That's really good. Now let's do it again. I'm going to add the left hand in. What I want you to do is we're going to loop around the same 2 bars a few times around. So we're just playing bars 9 and 10, 9 and 10, without stopping to count in between, as though it's a dead straight repeat. I'll put the left hand in as well. You just focus on that right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you caught it even once, that was good going. Well done. Let's just do our left hand again. Okay, I want you just to play the left hand. I'm also going to do the tune as well. You just do the left hand, just to remind yourself of that. And again, we'll go around a few times. So you're on the octave C, and it just walks down 1 note at a time, and then we'll go back to C. And we'll do it in that same loop. So I'll put the tune in, but you just play the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And again. And. One more time. And. Now I'd like you to try and do both hands together. Do as much as you can of it, and we'll go round a few times just like we've done those last 2 times now. And if you drop off, think, okay, I'll get ready and I'll rejoin in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Tricky, again you can revert the left hand to just being straight octaves without the damping in the middle. It'll reverberate more, gets a bit more murky, but it is the notes, they are happening in the right place, and that's great. Okay, and don't forget, if that feels too much, you could just do, doesn't have to be the octaves at all, you could just do single notes either there or down here, although it will be murkier down here. So you could, I would probably stick with it from middle C. You could just choose to do that, just so that you are playing something in that place with your left hand. And that would be really good to do. Now, the way we've been working in this loop is great because the bar 11 is identical to bar 9. So the way that we've been looping actually has worked on our transition from bar 10 into bar 11. So bar 11 starts exactly the same, and it walks down to the C. Now, you can hear a difference just at the end there. So in bar 12, we landed with our fourth finger on C, we'd walked down to it, just like we've been doing. We swap to 3, we do the thumb slide, and we carry straight on. So fingering there, we start with the 4 because we've walked down to it. Then we do 3, 2, 1 heading up. The 1 is a slide, and we carry straight on, and we get finger 2 on the red. And if you can, swap to finger 3 on that final C. Otherwise you can do it with a finger 2 again. As you build up speed, it's better to swap fingers on the repeated note. Okay, so let's just try that through together a few times. I think let's go from bar 11, so we go into this. Okay, starts the same as bar 9, so you're getting quite comfortable with that now, and then it's just this different ending. So from the E going up, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and place, 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. Now that's something to work on and go around a few times. If we then add the left hand into this, the left hand is almost identical to what we've done. Walking down, and then we just add a low C to finish, and it's the bottom red on my harp with the very lowest string and the C an octave above that, and that comes with the final note of the top hand. So it's almost easier to play this with the other hand happening at the same time than it is to try and do it on its own. So if I put them together, maybe what you could do is join in with your left hand with that final jump, and we'll go around a few times, but we'll have a count between each one on this one. So this is starting at bar 11. You're going to play the left hand, watching for that final jump down to the C and hearing how it lands with the last note of the melody. Okay, bar 11, you're playing left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and jump. Good, so that stands at the bottom there. Should we try that again? Get ready on middle C, the octave, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there's so much in today, but it gives you the groundwork for the rest of the piece. So really spend your time working through it, getting very comfortable, not just with the melody, but with that left hand as well. And if you go back to the beginning of this video to the play along parts and play either one hand or the other, and really don't neglect that left hand, bring it in as quickly as possible. That would be great. And like I said, if you want to just go, you could just use finger 2 and walk down with just individual notes You could even do that 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to get it placed. Personally, I'd probably do it with finger 2, just to have a bit of openness about it. But yeah, it's sounding really good. You're working very well. Well done.